Welcome everyone to Fire Sports Podcast. For first-time viewers, my name is Blake, and I will talk about almost everything you need to know about football, about this season for basketball and football. But today I'll be going over how your NFL team can make it to the NFL playoffs. The first team on our list we'll be talking about are the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are on a little firm, but not yet firm, first place in the AFC South. After a horrendous year under previous coach Meyer, they've had a surprising comeback this year under Coach Peterson. They've been winning their last 5 games after the bye week. They beat the Ravens, Titans, Cowboys, Jets, and Texans. With 1 game left in Week 18, they're going to face the Titans. They've already beaten once this season. But if the Titans can pull one against the Jaguars, the Titans are in. But can the Jaguars finish their season out with defeating the Tennessee Titans, who aren't very good right now, who are struggling? Can they pull off the miracle season? The next team that is in the hunt for the playoffs are the New England Patriots, who started out really well till their bye week and haven't been really winning much. They've been on a winning streak of 1 after they beat the Dolphins, keeping their playoff hopes alive and pushing the Dolphins back to the 8th seed. They're right now the 7th seed. If they can hold on to that with a win against the Bills, who the Bills are already in the playoff and truly the game doesn't matter to them unless they want the 1st seed, which is most likely what they're going to do. It is possible that the New England Patriots can hold on to their seed if they beat the Bills. But the Bills have been winning their last 6 games, so it might be really tough. But if the Patriots pull that off, they're in the playoffs. Now, as we said earlier, the Dolphins. Can they recover without Tua after 2 costly concussions? They most likely rule him out for Week 18. They've lost their last 5 games. But with a win over the Jets and the Patriots losing to the Bills, they could squeak the 7th spot and get into the playoffs after narrowly missing the playoffs last year. Terron Armstead is doubtful for the game, Eric Rowe is questionable, and Alec Ingold is also questionable for the game in Week 18. But the Dolphins, if they beat the Jets, can pull out to get this 7th seed and get into the playoffs. Now, let's talk about the Steelers. Can Mike Tomlin, not have a losing season after so many winning seasons in a row? Can they beat the Browns, who just beat the Washington Commanders 24-10? Giving other teams in the NFC, the Seahawks, Lions, Packers, a chance to get in, while they already eliminated the Commanders. We'll talk about the NFC teams later. The Cleveland Browns are a decent team. They're 7-9, but were eliminated though, but have won their last 2 of 3 games, losing to the Saints. But won against the Ravens and the Commanders. So that might be a tough one. Last year, they were 9-8 and missed the playoff by 1 game behind. Be the Browns, who were eliminated. Cleveland Browns are a decent team. They're 7-9. They were eliminated, though. But have winning their last 2 out of 3 games. But the Titans, as I said earlier, we'll go to the Titans. As I said earlier, can they pull off their season together after a costly loss to the Commanders, Texans, and Chargers? They have lost their last 6 of 7 games. 1 game left against the Jaguars on Saturday. Can they pull this off and get into the playoffs? Now, let's talk about the NFC teams. who are hoping to squeak out a chance to get into the playoffs. We have 3 teams, the Seahawks, Lions, and Packers. Now, can the Seahawks hold on to their playoff spot without Russell Wilson? They did trade him away, but they have done wonderful. Geno Smith has done wonders with them. They are really good this year. They're in right now, but still need to win against the Rams to secure their 7th seed. Because if the Lions beat the Packers or the Packers beat the Lions, Packers or Lions are in if the Seahawks lose. But this might be a plus for Lions and Packers, is that they've lost their last 3 of 4 games. The Seahawks have just won last week against the Jets. So they do have momentum against the Rams, who lost to the Chargers last week. And Noah Fant, the Seahawks tight end, is good to go, which now bolsters their receiving core for this game, giving them an edge and aiding Geno Smith. Now the Lions. Who thought we'd be talking about the Lions on the verge of the playoffs? Well, it's happening. And with a win against the Bears last week, secured them 8 wins and a shot at the playoffs. Can they make their miracle season come true against the Packers this week? Now the Seahawks lose to the Rams, and they're in. Last team we'll be going over are the Packers. Can they recover from the rough start without Davante Adams? But with the emergence of Christian Watson, if they pull off a win against the Lions and the Seahawks lose, the Packers are into the playoffs without Davante Adams. But Christian Watson has revitalized this team into their better days. What team will make it with 1 game left? Will your team get in? Or is it back to the drawing boards to see what happened and how to improve their season? Well, thank you for tuning in to this episode on my podcast. If you want to follow me, subscribe to Fire Sports Podcast. Until next time, goodbye.